forward to this computer. Here we go. So we're looking at slide number 2 now. We need to get the x by itself. What's our first move? Jordan, sit up.
Of course.
Dude, what?
Wait. All right.
Okay, there we go. Let's be safe. Okay, Billy, what do you think our first move is here for number 1?
I don't really know how to explain it. I just know the answer.
Okay, so we have a 5 minus x is equal to 8. So the first thing is we need to get the x by itself. Avery, can you name that move for me? And then Billy's going to give us the final answer.
Plus x. But since there's like no number,
Okay.
x by itself would be technically 1, wouldn't it be?
So we could move x over to the other side, okay? By plussing, adding x, good. We would be left with 5 is equal to 8 plus x. Okay, good. And then how do I get the x by itself now? I need to move that constant, that number not attached to the x. How do we do that? Amber, what do you think?
I would say 8, like minus 8.
Why minus?
Well, because there's no like sign on the left side of the field, so it has to be the other side.
Well, okay, so because there's no sign attached to that 8, we can automatically say it's a positive, okay? So if we say it's a positive 8, the opposite of positive 8 or plus 8 is negative 8. Very good. So we would subtract 8 from each side to get an x of how much? Grab your calculators from under your desks. What are we going to get? 5 minus 8 is? Billy? What kind of 3?
Negative 3.
A negative 3. Very good. Fantastic. I'm orienting this board because, as you know, Miss Jermaine is a board snob and she likes it to be aligned. Hashtag perfectionist. Boom. Okay. Now, I need to get my x by itself on the second one. That's the second top one up there. It's attached through what? If there's no symbol there, how is that x attached to the 3, negative 3?
Well, she's in her shoes on.
I know, no shoes. It's good. How's it attached? Avery?
Multiplication.
It's attached through multiplication, right? So if it's attached through multiplication, I undo it by doing what operation to each side? What was it? Division. Very good, because we think the opposite. To get the x by itself, we need to do the opposite. Divide by negative 3. We keep the signs attached to the number because then we'll have a negative x, and that's not fun. So I divide by negative 3 on the left. I divide by negative 3 on the right. I get an x is equal to how much? Being sure to, if you know how to do signs on the calculator, you can do the signs. If not, you can add the sign in later. What is negative, or not 9 divided by negative 3? Avery?
Hold on. I didn't calculate it.
Nope, not minus. It's divide.
Oh, yeah.
9 divided by 3 is how much? 3. And it's what kind of 3?
A negative 3.
A negative 3, because it's a positive divided by a negative. There we go. Thank you. Perfect. I cannot slow down, Diego, because this is what we did all of last week and the week before. So we got an x is equal to negative 3. Very good. Very good, Bridget. Yes. Okay. Now the third one. I need to get my x by itself here. I have an x minus 2 is equal to negative 1. I got to get rid of that minus 2. What am I doing to each side? Very good, Bridget. Olivia. Yes, very good, Olivia and Bridget. Very good. To undo that -2, I have to add 2 to each side. Very good. Okay. -1 plus 2 gets me how much? Olivia?
1.
A 1 equals, I'm left with on the right side, Olivia? X, very good. Because when I add the 2 there, it cancels out the -2. I'm left with just the X is equal to 1. Very good job, Bridget. X is equal to 1. Very good. Last one here. Jonah, question for you. How is this -5 attached to the X? What operation? Huh? Well, I know, but I want you to think. Who can help him out? Billy.
Wait, I wasn't raising my hand for that. I just needed an equals.
Oh, yes. I'm a thinker. I totally forgot to do that. How is it attached here? Avery. Multiplication. Very good. So it's attached through multiplication. So that means I need to undo it by doing what to each side? Annie. Yeah. Good job, Jane Ramos. What was it? Divide. Yes, Annie. Very good. So we need to divide each side by what? You right? -5. Very good. We're dividing each side by -5. To undo this multiplication here, we are dividing by -5. Dividing by -5. Okay? What's -10 divided by -5, Jonah? -10 divided by -5. 10 divided by 5, Jonah.
10 divided by 5 is 5.
Nope.
No. 2.
2. Okay. And what kind of sign is that 2 going to have? Because it's a negative divided by a negative.
Negative.
Negative divided by a negative is a positive. Very good. So X is equal to 2. Okay. Nice job, Bridget. Awesome job, Jaden Ramos. Fantastic job. Okay. I'm going to keep this up for another minute. My friends at home, you're writing these steps down on a piece of paper for yourself. You don't need to insert these ones today for this one. We will be inserting pictures later though. Okay? Awesome job. Awesome job. I'm keeping this up for another minute. And we're looking at our I-CANs for today. Our I-CAN, we have one I-CAN statement. I can solve an equation where the variable appears on both sides. So if we look at these examples that we did for the last week, really, the last week and a half in class, we were given examples where we had X's on one side. No more. Those are gone. Gone are the days where we have X's on one side. Now we're going to be dealing with equations where we have X's on both sides of the equal sign. And there's going to be a few more steps that we need to do before we can solve how we would solve these ones. The steps that we took to solve these ones are not going away. We're going to be adding more steps on to the front of it. Okay? So let's take a look at what we're going to be doing for today. So we have the solving equations tool that it was a PowerPoint that we were going through. And this we're going to use a little bit more on Thursday and Friday, because today and tomorrow we're going to be doing relatively simpler ones. So we're not going to need to really use this guy today. And I also want to talk through some of the steps before I have you just go into using this tool. So I linked it in here. You don't necessarily need to have it open though at home. Okay. Slide number 5. Okay. We're now on slide number 5. I hate that I can't hear myself when I'm talking with this. Looking at slide number 5, what is one thing that you notice about this equation? Anything at all. Take 20 seconds, What do you notice about this equation? People at home, let me know in the chat. People in school, think about it. Have your hands ready because I'm going to be calling on Brandon and Olivia. I'm going to call on Brandon first, though. Nice job, Sawyer. Nice job, Alyssa Button. Okay. So, my question to Brando. Anything at all, what do you notice about this equation right here? What do you notice? What do you think?
It was already said in chat.
Go ahead. That's okay.
So two X's.
There's X's on, there's two X's. There's an X on both sides. Good. And you know what? The way that you said it is the way Courtney said it. Yes. But it's still your own opinion. Good. You noticed X's on both sides. There's two of them. Yes, Alyssa Button. Yes, Courtney. Olivia, what else do you notice? Anything?
There's three numbers instead of just two.
Okay. There's three numbers instead of just two like we were having before. Go ahead, Avery.
For multiplication, those numbers would equal 10.
Okay, so if you were to multiply the numbers on the right side, it would equal that 10. Okay, good. Billy?
There's an equal sign in the middle.
There's an equal sign in the middle, so that means they are balanced. Very good. Yes, nice job. Very, very, very good. Let me just get a couple friends marked down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this box right here because I want to have some space to write. Okay, so let's think. We're solving this equation. The previous ones that we were solving, we had our X's on, were there X's on both sides or were the X's all on one side? Huh? They were all on one side. So we need to do something to this equation to get our X's all to one side. So we're going to have to do some sort of operation to get our X's all to one side. The first step that we need to take here is we need to look at our two X values here. And you need to decide which one is smaller. If I have just an X with no number in front of it, what kind of X is that? There's an invisible what in front of this? Jonah. If I have just an X here with nothing written in front of it, what number do we know is secretly, mysteriously hidden and written in front of there? If I have just an X, that's equal to how many X's? How many? It's equal to 1X, right? So we can secretly write this 1 in front so that you know that if it's just an X by itself, that's the same thing as saying 1X. Good. Nice job, Bridget. And Bridget said the 1X is smaller. Good. I want to move that 1X over to the other side, but the whole thing. When we move an X from one side to the other, there's two operations that we're going to use. We can only use addition or subtraction. Okay? So if we want to move this whole thing over to one side, then we can either do addition or subtraction. Avery is thinking she knows what we're going to have to do. What do we think?
Well, if there's like no sign on the left side, it would automatically be considered a positive. So you have to do.
So it's a positive 1X, right? We can tell that because there's no sign. And so if I want to move a 1X, how do I undo a positive X? Lily, what do you think? So remember, we said that when we want to move an X from one side to the other, we can only do two operations, either add it or subtract it. Those are the two operations that if we want to move the whole thing together. So if we want to move the whole thing together, we're going to either add or subtract. This is a positive 1X. So how do you undo a positive 1X? By doing what? Jonah, I need your head up. Olivia?
By subtracting.
Yes, very good. And Bridget said the same thing. Because we have a positive 1x, I want to move the whole thing together over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 1x. If I subtract 1x from the right, what am I going to do to my left side?
Subtract 1x to 5x.
Very good. We're going to subtract 1x on the other side of the equal sign, and we can only subtract it from the 5x. Very good. Minus 1x. Okay. On my right side, my x's cancel out. 5x minus 1x is, Olivia?
4x.
Very good. 4x. Very good, Bridget. Nice job. 4x. And I bring down, I didn't do anything to this plus 2, so I need to bring it down. Plus 2 is equal to how much is left on the right-hand side? What's still over there? Avery? The positive 10. Yes. Question, my friends at home, can you guys hear me okay? Or do you want me to flip over to the other side of the board? Okay, good. I'm still gonna flip over to the other side though. Okay. So, I can solve this guy now. We did this all for like a week and a half. Okay, so if we use our idea of reverse PEMDAS here, I need to get my x by itself. What am I gonna do first to each side? Isabella, she's got those thinking eyes. Take another second, and then I'm gonna have you share. What do you think we have to do? Take a second to think, and then we're gonna share out. So we're not gonna undo the division first because remember we're doing reverse PEMDAS, right? So we need to undo addition and subtraction first. Looking at this guy here, I have some addition. How do I undo that plus 2?
Subtract.
Yes, girl. Subtract 2 from each side. Very good. When I do that, if you look, the 2's cancel out. I'm left with what on my left-hand side? Right? 4x is equal to 8. Okay. I want you to take 20 seconds right now. What is the next step to get the x by itself? It's easy to get it down. You're not going to get caught up with having this if you don't get it written down. Okay? Even if you don't fully understand, I need you to get it written down. Because you'll get it if you get there, if you start writing. Okay, Bridget says, and Alyssa says, and Jaden says that we have to divide. Alyssa went more specific. She said divide by 4. Bridget said the same thing, but she even said divide by 4 on each side. Do we agree? Give me a thumbs up. I happen to agree as well, because this 4 is attached to the x through multiplication. Okay? How do you undo multiplication? By yes, divide by 4. Let me just move this guy out of here. Divide by 4. Oh, hello everybody, welcome back. I don't know if I am the host anymore. Let me just make sure that I'm the host.
You are.
Okay, good, perfect. Perfect, we're back. Let me get the chat up again. I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna pick up where we left off. I'm going to pin me because I love to see myself. And it's a problem.
I don't blame you. My dad does the exact same thing.
But it's good to have everybody back. Thank you for being awesome participants. Very good. I have to divide 8 divided by 4. Ooh, Jonah can do this. What's 8 divided by 4, Jonah? 8 divided by 4. Use your calculator. 8 divided by 4. Brando. Close. Very good. 2. Very good. Very close, Bridget. Nice job. I have an x is equal to 2. Hey, Lindo. Fantastic. So listen to me, my friends at home. I'm just going to go like this so that I can take my mask down because I can hear myself better. I need you to get these steps written down. If you did not get them written down, Number 2, we're going to insert pictures of our work at the end. So please keep the paper that has this work on it because we're going to take a picture and insert it at the end of the period. Okay? I'm going to leave this up for another 20 seconds, and then we're going to move on to slide number 6. Get ready on slide number 6. Boom. Okay, here we go. Slide number 6. One thing, so that you don't have to rush at the end to get this all written down, my suggestion to you is to write it down as we go through. Okay, now let's take a look at slide number 6. I'm going to say it for like the 17th time. I have this guy here. What do we notice about this equation? Avery.
There are 4 numbers.
There are 4 numbers this time, and we have what? Are the x's on one side or both sides, or what's going on? Are there no x's? Oh my goodness.
That'll be funny too.
Annie, what do we notice? There's 2 x's and they're on opposite sides. Good. Yes, Courtney, there's 2 x's, but we want to notice the x's are on opposite sides here. Okay. So when we have x's on opposite sides, the first step that we do is we need to figure out which one is what? Avery? Smaller. Which one of our x's here? This negative 6x or this 4x is smaller? Which one is smaller? Really, only 2 options, really.
No.
Nice job, Jaden Ramos. Nice job, Bridget. Billy, which one is smaller at this point in time?
4x. Oh, actually.
Don't.
6x.
Very good. And it's the negative 6x because you cannot forget that this negative sign is attached to the 6. And then you say to yourself, which one is smaller, a negative 6 or a positive 4? Jonah, head up. That negative 6 is smaller. Okay? So that means this guy is going to need to move over to the right side. Okay, when we move whole things together, x's together, we can only do 2 operations. Which operations can we do here? Avery?
Addition or subtraction.
We need to do addition or subtraction. Right now, the 6x is what kind of 6x? A positive or a negative? It's a negative. So what's the opposite of a minus? Jonah? The addition symbol, yes. So to each side, we're going to do what? Very good. Yes, we have to add 6x to both sides. Okay. When we do that, my x's on the right-hand side or left-hand side cancel out. When I cancel out my x's there, how much am I left with on the left-hand side? Very good, Bridget. How much am I left with, Avery?
-7.
Very good. We're left with a -7. Is equal to 4x plus 6x is how many x's? How many? 10x. Very good, Bridget. And she said 10x is equal to or -2 because we didn't do anything with this -2 here, so we bring it on down. It's -7 minus 10x, or -7 is equal to 10x minus 2. Oh, now we're good. We just have to get that x by itself. So what do we have to do to each side? First thing, we do reverse PEMDAS. We have to undo what first here? Lily, what are we thinking? Very good, Bridget. So I have this here. I need to get the x by itself. So before I can get rid of this 10, I have to get rid of this -2. So how do I get rid of a -2, or how do I undo that? Yes, girl. I add 2 to my right side. If I add 2 to my right side and I want to maintain my equity, what do I have to do to the left? Avery? Yes, nice job, Jaden Ramos. You have to add 2 to maintain our equity. Very good. So -7 plus 2 gets me how much? Olivia, -5 is equal to what? What's left there? Annie? Very good. Yes, Annie. Yes, Jaden Ramos. Very good. 10x. The 10 is attached to the x through what operation? Olivia, what do you think? Multiplication. It's attached through multiplication. When they come back up, we'll go down. It's attached through multiplication. So how do I undo multiplication, Brando? The opposite of multiplication is addition and subtraction are opposites. You got this, Brando. Yes, division.
Oh my God.
That was called a spin high five. That was pretty elite.
No.
No, I was just being a ballerina, you know. So we're gonna have to divide by 10 to get the x by itself because it cancels. Divide by 10. I'm gonna get an x is equal to how much?
Oh my God.
Listen, I didn't get to do this for the 2 weeks that we were at home. So
I'm like, the energy got bottled up and now it's.
what do we think, Isabella? -5 divided by 10 gets me how much? Yes, girl. You can write it one of two ways. -0.5 or -1/2. Both ways work. Yes, Bridget. Fantastic job, Jaden Ramos. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is nuts. Whew. I haven't had a chance to run around in so long, so now I'm out of breath. You got everything written down. Take 20 seconds, get all of the steps written down. Get that last few steps written down. Come on. You're not going to get better at this if you don't go through and write the steps. Even at this point, you don't understand what we're doing. The repetitive nature of us doing it, you seeing, oh, hey, this is a 5x, how do I undo it? You divide by 5. You're gonna get it down, okay? Okay, we're taking another 5, and then I'm gonna erase, and we're gonna move forward. Okay, here we go. I don't have my pencil, so I have to just erase like this. Fantastic. Let's look at 7. Oh, God. Oh, no. This is where it's going to start to get a little tricky. I want you to take 20 seconds right now. I want you to think. I want you to use your knowledge. What do you think we're going to have to do first? Thinking strategically. Thinking back to what we did 2 weeks ago. What do we have to undo first? Or what do we have to do first? Jaden Remo said we have to get rid of the X's. Avery, what were you thinking?
I was thinking.
Or the parentheses, he said. I'm sorry, Jaden Ramos. Go ahead.
To do the half times the stuff with parentheses first.
What's that magical math term that means? So she said multiply. And what's that called? Not divide.
Distributive property.
Distributive property, or to distribute good. And it means multiply that number outside by both of the pieces inside. You need to multiply both of the pieces. Okay. This is probably the trickiest part of this whole question. Very good. What's 1/2 times 7? Or half of 7? Use your calculator if you need it.
No.
Friends at home, you can use your phone as a calculator if you need it. Lily! 3.5. Fantastic. 3.5x. Fantastic. 1/2 times -6.
Oh, no.
Half of -6 is. So it's half of 6. Think about it that way. Brandon, what's half of 6? 3. Very good. And then because it's a -6, it's going to be what kind of 3?
I thought it was here positive because of the outside. It's
Huh?
not negative.
it's gonna be a -3 because it's a positive times a negative, which a positive times a negative is a negative. So it's gonna be a -3 is equal to, we didn't do anything on the other side, so we're left with just our 6x minus 10. Nice job, Jaden Ramos, on the ball today. I love it. Okay, so here comes the tricky part. I have x's on both sides. My first step, I need to get my x's by themselves or like to one side. We decide which x is what. To do that, I don't just move them. What about, there's a rule. The smaller one, Brando, yes. You find the smaller of the two. Which one is smaller? Billy?
3.5x.
Good, the 3.5x is the smaller one. And I want to move the whole thing together. So that means I can only do addition or subtraction. What Avery's thinking, what does she think we have to do?
Subtraction because I'm not a positive.
Because there is no sign here, so it's a positive. To move it over to the other side, the opposite of positive is minus 3.5x. I subtract 3.5x from my left side. What do I have to do now? Huh? Yes, what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 3.5 on the other side as well. Okay. These cancel out. I'm left with how much? A -3, right? This whole thing comes down. -3 is equal to 6 minus 3.5. Olivia.
2.5
2.5. Very good. 2.5 what?
x.
Very good. 2.5x. And I bring down minus the 10. Yes, very good. Nice job. Minus my 10. Yes, very good. Oh, okay. Now, we're basically there. I need to get my x by itself. So first I have to do my reverse PEMDAS, undo addition or subtraction. What do I have to do to each side here? Olivia.
Subtract the 3. I mean, add 3.
So we already have, so when we do this, so when we get to the x's on each side, we look at the side that has the x's. So then on that side, because adding 3 would work, that is gonna move it, but we wanna get the x by itself, so we wanna get rid of this guy. So what would we do at Avery to each side?
You would add 10.
I believe in Malcolm.
There you go, you are unmuted. Plus 10. Do you think I embarrassed him?
That was me.
Plus 10. What am I gonna get here? -3 plus 10 gets me what? What do we think? What do we think? Calculator, what do we think? Olivia.
7.
Very good. Positive 7 is equal to what? 2.5x. Yes. Okay. Now here we go. We have to get the x by itself. By doing what? Jonathan division. Olivia, what were we thinking? Oh, that was Avery? Oh my gosh, that's so awkward. You were
easy for
listen, let me tell you, let me justify myself, okay? You whispered. He whispers. That's why I thought it was John. Not because of the voice. I just heard a nice soft voice. And I thought it was yours. Okay? Very good. We have to divide by 2.5 because the 2.5 is attached to the x through multiplication. Make sure this is written down. Divide by 2.5. I'm going to get an x of how much? Right? How much? We can leave it as a fraction or a decimal. Avery.
2.8.
Very good. Nice job, Bridget. 2.8. Okay, so you can leave it as 2.8 or you can write it as the fraction 7 divided by 2.5. Both of those work. I'm gonna go like a really long circle, okay? Get this copied down. Very good job. We're just gonna see what's going on. They're still wandering around out there. Questions? Questions on how do we do these things? Okay, let me see what Sawyer said. I just kind of cut off. Let me just see what he said. Okay, oh, no problem, Sawyer. Oh, that was you? I thought that was Diego. Oh, sorry, Diego. I'm so sorry. 2.8. Yes, because it was, I think it was Sawyer. Okay, so if we were to do that, for example, we say, so Alyssa Button, let's see why it is 2.8. Because if we type in our calculator, 7 divided by 2.5, we get 2.8. There we go. It's not backwards, I don't think. Let's go like that. No, it's even worse. Okay, perfect. So it says, so when we type in the calculators, we go 7 and then the divide button by 2.5. And then that's, you get the 2.5. Okay, you good, Billy?
Yeah.
Awesome, okay. Fantastic. I'm gonna erase and move forward. Why am I dancing? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We're skipping over slide 8. We are skipping slide 8 because we already did one with fractions. We're looking at 9, and then we'll go back to 8 if we have time.
Okay, well, I already started that.
Okay, well, we're gonna do it tomorrow for the warm-up, so you're ahead of the game. Get your head in the game. I don't know why I'm running. It's like literally, it's insane today. I don't understand. Okay, here we go. Looking at slide number 9. What do you think we might have to do first? Or if you don't know what we have to do first, what do you notice? Simple. 2 things. What do you notice? Or what do you think we have to do first? Take 20 seconds to think. Friends at home, type it in the chat. I like it, Bridget. Okay. So my friend Bridget at home said we might have to multiply by 2. We can multiply this 2 here by both of the pieces that are inside. Does anyone think there is something else that we can do? We know that the 2 is attached through multiplication. So logically, what else can we do to get rid of that 2? We can distribute, or we can undo that multiplication by dividing, okay? If you do either option, it's still gonna get you the same answer. I want you to know that. If you were to distribute, it would get you the same answer. But I'm gonna show you a different thing that we can do here. I can divide by 2. Does 2, when I make the decision here, does this 2 go evenly into 4 and 14? Does that divide into even numbers?
Wait, you guys better want to divide 2 and 14 and come out to an even number?
Is that going to get you a whole number?
Yeah.
Yes. So we can do this division. I want to show you how we would do this division here. We can divide by 2 on the left side. It cancels the 2's out. Now, if you choose to divide here, this is where it gets a little bit different than you might think. Some of you might say, I would have to divide by 2. And yes, that is correct, but let me show you a better way of saying that. You have to divide both of these pieces individually by 2. So I would suggest you write it like this. divide by 2, divide by 2. Because you need to divide both pieces by 2 to maintain equity. To maintain the equity here, you're going to divide by 2 on the left side, divide both of the terms individually by 2. When I divide by 2 here, what am I going to be left with on the left-hand side? So the 2's are gone, so I'm left with just what? Yes, very good. Whatever, if you divide, you're left with what's inside the parentheses. X plus 7 is equal to. Now we need to use those big math brains. -4 divided by 2 is how much? Because the negative sign, remember, everything to the left is attached to it, right? So it's a -4x divided by 2 is going to get me what? What kind of 2? A negative, because a negative divided by a positive is a -2 what? -2x. Very good. -2x. Now we did that. I need to do my 14 divided by 2 gets me what? Nice job, Bridget. Divide by 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7. What kind of 7? +7. Very good. Okay. 14 divided by 2 gets me a +7. Very good. I need to get my x's by themselves. X is all to one side. I look for which x is what? Lily just went, whoa! When I look to move, so I have, this is what's left here, okay? I need to move my x's to one side. We look for the x that is what, Billy?
Small.
Smaller, very good. And which one of these is the smaller of the two x's?
No.
It's a -2x and a positive just 1x. But remembering that it's a -2x. Which one's smaller, Billy? The -2x is the smaller one. How can I move a -2x to the other side? Avery?
Addition, subtraction.
Very good. I can only use addition or subtraction. It's already a -2x. I need to move it over. How do you undo a -2x? Billy?
Add 2x to
Yes, Billy. To undo this, to get the x's to one side, we're going to add 2x to each side. Very good, Jaden Ramos. Nice job. Very good, Bridget. Add 2x, add 2x. What's an x plus a 2x going to get me? X plus a 2x is going to get me how many x's? 3x. Very good. Nice job, Bridget. Ooh, she went one step further. We have a 3x. We bring down our
7
plus 7. Very good, Avery. We keep that sign attached. Plus 7 is equal to how much? How much? Plus 7. Very good. Oh, gosh. Okay. So, now, let's think. People at home, what do you think? What are we going to have to do to get that x by itself? Annie. I do reverse PEMDAS now. I have to undo addition and subtraction first. What are you thinking? So remember, we're looking at this guy. We're looking here. Okay, that was a very bad arrow. I don't even know what that is. It's a scribble. We're looking at this guy. We have the x's all to one side. When we're at that step, we undo it by undoing addition and subtraction first. Billy. Very good. We would have to, like Bridget said, like Jaden said, very good. Subtract 7 from each side. Oh gosh.
So would you keep the sign for the +7 on the right? No.
So it all cancels out. The sign and the number cancel out.
No, on the right side, when you rewrite it, would you keep the plus sign?
Oh, yes, you can bring that plus sign down if you would like to. You don't necessarily, if you remember that it's a positive, you don't necessarily need to write it. But if you want to remember the sign, you can bring it down.
So would that cancel that 7 out as well? Because we're doing this today.
Would that cancel it out?
Or there's something else too.
So 7 minus 7 is going to be equal to what number? 0. Very good, Avery. That's a good point. Nice job, Bridget. Very good. 0 is equal to what's left on the left side here. How many x's? 3x. So 3 x's are equal to 0. Miss Shermaine messed that up. Let me try that again. 3x is equal to 0. Oh no. How is my 3 attached to my x? Olivia? So we're gonna have to do division or it's attached to division?
I mean, it's attached to multiplication, so we're gonna have to do.
Good. Yes, very good. Clarifying questions are good. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Oh goodness, what's 0 divided by 3? Type it in your calculator, what do you get? Avery? Well, 0, type it in your calculator. 0 divided by 3 is, 0 divided by n number is, Brandon? 0. Yes, nice job, Brando. 0 is equal to listen, let me tell you something. This stuff is hard. This is day 1 of multiple days. So my suggestion to you, nice job, Bridget, is if you are struggling with this, the least that I need you to do is to write everything down. That's my number 1 rule. Then, once we do this more often, you're gonna get better at it, I promise you. If we need extra time, we can set up extra time, okay? You guys did fantastic today. I'm gonna keep this up so you can copy the work down. Your homework for this evening, you have 30 minutes assigned in Alex on your path. I want a bunch of stuff getting done on that. I want 1 or 2 concepts learned and completed. This is going into Power School as a grade. I have to get caught up on last week, which I will do after school today. There are going to be 5 grades going in today for last week. I was going to try to do them this weekend, but I got too behind. 30 minutes of Alex time today for homework. Number 2, well, that's really the only thing for homework, is the 30 minutes of Alex time. Tomorrow, we are not moving forward with this. We are doing another day of solving, okay? So don't